Jerry Delafamina is a veteran advertising executive up in New York, and Dana Milbank is one of the great reporters and columnists for the Washington Post. He tells you the truth in color. Anyway, let me go to Jerry Delafamina. I'm watching this dog and pony show this week, and I use that term advisedly. It's a term used for these shows out in the Wild West in the late 19th century and early 20th, where they went around, they put on a show to sell some sort of product. They're selling a product here. It's called the war in Iraq. Nothing's changed except the launch, it seems to me.
Well, they're doing a good job of it this week. Let me tell you, they couldn't find anyone better than Petraeus. I mean, you just can't beat a man in full uniform speaking to, well, I'll give you, Ollie North, facing the Congress. You know, you stand up there and he's wearing a uniform, and boy, you can't take a guy in uniform versus 6 overweight senators.
Yeah, except that Eisenhower could have defended the Second World War, and this fella thought that was beyond his ken to explain whether what we're doing over there is making us safer or not. I mean, Ike would have said beating the Nazis makes us safer. I think Westmoreland would have said something like that in Vietnam, and this guy couldn't answer the fundamental question: are the loss of lives worth it?
Well, I think that he's a soft cell guy. Forget about what we believe. Get out of Iraq, go into Iraq with more soldiers. He's a soft cell guy. What better answer than, I'm sorry, I don't know. It was the right answer for him. He didn't know. If he would have said something,
I agree with that. He didn't know. But if he believed that this war was making America safer, wouldn't he have said so?
I think that he just won people over by saying, I haven't got an answer. Sometimes coming up with a fast answer, there are people who are looking at him and saying, I know we should get out, the surge isn't working. They now believe that they're right, the surge isn't working. There are other people saying, telling you the surge seems to be working. They believe. So he didn't change anyone. And what they wanted was status quo. They wanted everyone to say, well, gee, this guy he's very impressive. He's a war hero. I think the biggest mistake that was made was the Petraeus ad that ran just before that. I mean, what a setup that was. Snow could get up and say, gee, this is a hero. How could we treat this man this way? So if I was, if this was a dirty tricks game, someone would say, let's put an ad in making fun of this war hero, and then let's knock him down and show. So it was a terrible mistake, and it really set the week off on the wrong note for people who were against the surge.
Yeah, well, the ad didn't kill anybody. Let me ask you, Dana Milbank, about this strategy. Number one, it's in September. It's simulcast with all the pictures from New York and 9/11, marking of 9/11, that horror up there. Once again, suggesting, you remember how you felt? The country western music. Remember how you felt? We got to get even with these people. We got to stop them from doing it again.
It's the same show over and over again each year. This is when the Iraq War was sold, and Andy Card said that right from the start. They weren't making any apologies at it.
We're rolling out our product in the fall.
Bush has terrible August down on the ranch, and then has explosive Septembers. And I think he's won this battle already.
How so? Tell me how.
Petraeus, it's no accident he has a Latin name. It looked like he was the Roman general returning to the Republic in his gold and purple toga, and they were celebrating him and slaying white bulls. They could not get enough of this man, and anybody who's even critical of the war wouldn't dare criticize, except in the most polite way, General Petraeus, because then you appear to be criticizing the troops. I think it's game, set, and match here.
Okay, so this is the old ad campaign for the 50s, which was 4 out of 5 doctors recommend. In other words, we've heard from the expert, Jerry, and even though the product itself, President Bush is extremely unpopular. He got a 5% credibility rating in the new CBS poll. The general can sell him. Is that the way you look at it? In other words, Thursday night he just comes out and says, I back the general.
I think he's backing the general. If the general said I back Bush, it might be a different story. I think he was the perfect spokesperson. I think that they, look, let's face it, it was set up. They looked at it and they scored.
Do you think that General Petraeus made a case for our being in Iraq or the tactics of the surge, or what do you think he sold to the American people, this stay the course? Do you think he sold the whole blue plate special? We stay over there for the time being.
I'm a war hero. I'm a general. I speak very softly, and I want you to listen to me. We continue. We stay the course.
What do you make of the pony? You're speaking well of the dog. What about the pony? How about the cookie pusher from the State Department? What do you think of him?
Well, again,
he seemed a little. You're talking about being soft-spoken. I'd say he was incredibly soft-spoken.
Well, that's part of winning these people over. I think he was the opening act. I mean, wherever he appeared, the story is Petraeus.
Okay, let me ask you why. I'm going to challenge you, Jerry. The goal of that war is to create an independent Iraq that can stand on its own feet and not be a danger to the region. That's the only reason guys are getting killed over there and women are getting killed over there, to make it a safer country and the region safer and therefore us safer. But the whole idea was to allow Iraq to create its own government. We're not talking about being an occupying force for years to come like the Brits or the French or even the Russians. We're not going to stay there for a long period of time. No evidence from this guy Crocker, and I just love the name Crocker, no evidence from him that we're building a government over there that can stand on its own 2 feet. You don't think that's a problem?
I think it's a problem for the next administration. And, and I think that's where they're going. You know,
a holding operation.
It's a holding operation, and let the next administration sort it out.
Wow, you think it's that bad? Is it that cynical?
As a tactical matter, Bush has won this round, but this actually, purely politically, makes it much more difficult for him and his party next year. This means there won't be a massive reduction of troops before the election. This is going to be going on next summer now, so they've kicked the can down the road. They'll be able to do that until March, but this is exactly what the Republicans didn't want.
So they're now officially the war party.
They've got it. I mean, there's no way we're going to be below, what is it, 130,000 troops next summer?
Well, I bow to you, Jerry. You're an expert. I guess he is selling this campaign. He's selling it through another gentleman, General Petraeus, an excellent soldier, being asked to defend a policy. It's the president who created the policy and the president who will have to defend it, and it's his party that will pay the price if this war continues the way it's been going. Thank you. Dana, I wish I gave you more time, but Jerry Della Femina, I mean, we had the guy here. Anyway, coming up, General Petraeus can't answer that question whether the war in Iraq is making us safer here at home. Well, if the top commander in Iraq can't give us that answer, who's going to give it to us? You're watching Hardball on MSNBC.